Hey y'all, I'm Shayna and I'm back with another review. This is for Sistas Season 5, Episode 10. We're going to definitely go ahead and jump into it. Before we do, don't hesitate to subscribe if you enjoyed the video and be sure to like because I'm trying to grow my channel. In the meantime, let's jump into it. So, I'm sorry, y'all. I was like a couple minutes late and I was not about to rewind or none of that. So I'm going to tell y'all where I started. And that was with Dani and Andi in the car. I later find out that they're going to Karen's apartment. But in this moment, I see Dani talking about, look, I need to go to the weed man. I don't got no more weed. I'm all out. And Andi was like, oh, girl, no. Acting like a saint, like a goody two-shoe. And Dani was like, girl, why you sitting up there acting like you don't smoke weed? Dani is too funny. She like, forget it. I'll just eat these gummies and fine. And Andi like, oh, no. I mean, she's like, well, I mean, I'd smoke it, but I don't buy it. Like, I just use some of yours. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. If it came down to it, a time or two, I done did them. I don't go out purchasing or nothing, but I'll use others. That might be a little TMI, but I'm just saying. I'm Andi in this situation because don't be all in my car thinking I'm about to be fine and going to places and secret hiding spots. I don't think so. I don't care if I did do it with you 10 years ago. No. So Fatima tells Zach that Heather, baby mama number two, or I guess baby mama number one technically, stopped by the office. She was talking to Hayden and she like, look, it's just a lot. It's gonna be real hefty, like financially and all that. So she like, I don't want to rush the wedding. Like, let's just be engaged. And their neighbor said last week, like Fatima don't even got her ring on. So she like, look, I'm fine. We can be like Oprah and Stedman, honey. We can just shack. We can be like Robin and Juan Dixon over there on Real Housewives of Potomac. I'm fine with shacking up and wearing a ring, but that's it. That's all. But she, even though she don't want to rush the wedding because of his financial situation and all his baggage, she's still gonna stick beside him. She gonna stick beside him. And then he talking about I don't smell no food cooking or nothing. She like, you were supposed to take me out. And he's like, so you don't want to get married and you don't want to cook, okay? And don't, okay? Because she's talking about, oh, I'll cook. I wouldn't. Listen, I'm exhausted. I'm tired of you and your baby mama drama, all this baggage you got going on. Honey, yeah, take me out. I deserve it. So Andi and Dani arrive at Karen's. Aaron was there, but he leaves. Thank goodness. Get him out of here. So Dani finally, because Andi, for whatever reason, is acting like she's afraid to tell Karen that Sabrina is in prison. Like, okay, I get it. You don't want to stress her out, but all this lying is like making her worry even more. Just say something. So Dani finally just spits it out. She says she's in jail. And Dani, like, look, just say it. Like, but I guess that's why I identify with Dani more than the others, because she is me. Honey, I ain't about to be beating around the bush. Like, what do you have? What you want to do? Get in trouble? A slap on the wrist? What? Just say it. She's a grown woman. She'll get over it. So Karen asks Andi, she like, you got to do something. Can you call your boss? But she can't call Robin. They've had a falling out. So Dani exposes that he and Andi are no longer talking. So she like, well, Andi, you got to do something. Y'all keep acting like she's not a divorce attorney. There's only so much she can do. She's trying to call her connections, but her connections are Fatima and her family members, truth be told. I've been saying that too much lately. I got to stop. Anyway, so Karen revealed that she has an appointment for an ultrasound where she's going to find out the date of conception, and then she'll have a clearer idea of who the father is. That's happening tomorrow. Like, girl, tomorrow. And she's like, yeah, Andi, I want you there. And he's like, of course I'll be there. And she's like, Dani, I want you there too. First of all, if I got to take out, what time? Like, you don't spring something on me like this the night before. But they said they're going to be there for her. And for me, I feel like we can do all these dates of conceptions, ultrasounds, all we want. The only thing that's completely, and this ain't even 100% accurate from what I hear, but the DNA test. Because I hear sometimes DNA tests can get faulty too and give false results. Depending on, just the person's DNA and whatever. But listen, I would trust that more than I would trust some contraception calendar and ultrasound. Nah, get the blood work done, swab the mouth, or whatever happens. I need to know for sure, for sure. So after she says she wants them there, Dani starts asking like common sense questions like, well, what if it's Aaron's? What if it's Zach's? Like, just the stuff that everybody was thinking, but nobody was saying. And Andi, she gonna say to Karen because she was like, oh no, because Karen was like, well, maybe she shouldn't come. And she's like, no, she's going to behave. I do not like how they do Dani. Like, I can't stand it. It's been like this since season 1. First of all, Tyler got her as this drunk, high all the time, financially strapped person, and I cannot stand it because she's talking about, oh, I've been smoking and drinking all the time. They're like, oh girl, that's what you always do. I can't stand it for her. And then she just be giving a real, but after, oh, she'll behave, oh, she'll be quiet, oh, she won't talk. She is not no small child. What do y'all think this is? Like, Dani, you need a new friend group. And going over there with Fatima and them. So, because, and that's to my next point. Because she said something, I'll get there. So, Andy's phone rings, and it's Robin. And he's like, look, I can help with Sabrina. Because she like, he was trying to apologize after he found out, after the janitor, helped her out and lied on her behalf and said, they didn't sleep together. He was trying to get back in her good graces. But I had a feeling, and we're going to find out next episode, like what's going on with Gary and Robin. I had a feeling that those two were in cahoots with each other and working together. Like, I something was in my spirit. It's just telling me. But, he like, I can help with her. And she's like, well, what can you do to make, he's like, what can I do to make up for this? And she's like, nothing. Just help my friend if that's what you're going to do. Because he's like, I can call, make calls. And she's like, I already talked to the prosecutor, this, that. He's like, I don't talk to no workers. I'm going to talk to his boss. I said, okay, boss status. But it just seemed a little fishy. And why are you up in the middle of the late night hour thinking about this anyway? So, on the other line is Gary. He beeping him. Someone he want to come over tonight. And he got to see her. She was like, you know what? Come over and drop off the D. That's what you can do. Come on over and do that. So, because she like, look, it's been a long, stressful day. You can at least do that. So, he excited. He ready to leave where he at, which is at the basketball court. Hold up. Did I skip something? Oh, no, I just ain't get there yet. My bad, y'all. Okay. So then Zach, he comes to the basketball court. And Gary's trying to talk to him. He's ignoring him. Like, yeah, Gary, scoot on. Go to where you got to be. Aaron came. Mind you, Zach is already like on 100 after hearing about Heather being at the office talking to Hayden. So then Aaron come, he talking to Zach, and he trying to be all nice and polite, and Zach don't want to hear it. He can't even catch a break because Hayden shows up. So he like, forget it. He getting his bag. He like, you know what? Not today. Not today, Satan. I'm leaving. So, Hayden is there because he don't have a life and nothing else to do but to just sit up there and worry and daydream about Zach. So he getting up under his skin like usual. So Zach calls Hayden because he like, you know what, hating, like hating, you hating on me, hating. And he called him a Karen. And Aaron was like, what'd you say about Karen? And he like, you what? Nobody even talking to you. He's like, but I just heard you say Karen's name. I said, oh, y'all is really triggering Zach. And so Zach, Aaron is not letting up. He's still being nice. And Zach like, I really want to dislike you, but you're making it hard because you're so nice. And I'm like, didn't Karen just say that about Fatima not too long ago? That is funny. But I'm like, until we find out whose baby it is, y'all might as well be on good term. Might as well. So Dani is telling Karen all of Andy's business while Dani has stepped out and took that phone call. Karen and Dani is discussing all of her personal business. So when Andi walks back in, she like, okay, so since we sharing each other's business, since we talking about each other's business up in here, how about you, Dani? You picked up a stray having a hot girl summer and he spat on you. And Dani was like, oh wow, that's low down. Like that was low. And she's like, and you forgot that he's also abusive since you want to be tell it all. Tell the whole thing start to finish. But she was like, because Andy's talking about checkmate. And then Dani's talking about, okay, and then I hit him with my car, checkmate. Andy's talking about touche. It's giving frenemies. It's giving y'all really don't even like each other. Like, we just familiar. We just been around each other, so we just dealing with each other. But the group was always divided, and it's always like that on these shows. Girlfriends and any other show where it's like a group of four, Insecure, these ladies, it was Andi and Karen and Sabrina and Dani. And by default, like Andi and Dani been having to spend more time together. I've never hung out in a group of four, so I don't know what that's about, but I don't like it. So after she tells that, Karen was like, "See, this is why I can't be away too long. Like this is why I can't be away too long because then what is going on? What is happening? Like what?" And she got to get filled in. And then he was talking about, "No, you can't, girl. Go worry about who your baby daddy is. Worry about that. You got your own issues. Talking about you can't be away too long. You need to worry about who your child's father is. How about that?" So Dani mentioned something about Fatima being her girl and kind of helping her out with her situation because they was like, "Well, did you hurt him or what?" So Dani made mention that Fatima's her girl, and Karen was like, "What?" She got hot. She like, "What are you saying that Fatima's your girl? Since when?" And then Dani tried to be like, "Look," she gave her some legal advice, and she's like, "Is she a lawyer? Like what?" No, she's not. Okay, well then, what do you mean, your girl? And you going to her for, just information and advice for the law that she knows nothing about? And Dani was like, "Look, stop it right there. Like, Fatima cool as ice. Like, she cool as a cold glass of water. Like, she's down." And she's like, she would be in our sister circle if she wasn't with Zach. Like, she would be sitting here right now. And that's why she's on the intro with us." And so Andy was like, "Yeah, I agree. Like, yep, she sure would. She is cool. Sister circle. I couldn't get past that. This is a sister circle? On all these shows, y'all always talking about our sister circle, sisterhood. No, no, no. Frenemies ain't no sister circle in my eyes." So they leave, and Andi drops Dani off, and we see Preston is waiting for her outside of her building, her apartment building. So he asks Dani, like, they're going back and forth, and he like, you need to teach me how to love. Cause she like, "You got here quick." He's like, "It's just a quick plane ride." Meanwhile, some of my sisters out here sleeping with men who won't even drive down the street to come see you. But this men talking about, "Oh, it's just a quick plane ride. It ain't about nothing." Okay, listen, I need some of y'all, and I had to do it too personally. Y'all got to free yourselves from the shackles of the bare minimum. Like, you can have more if you don't settle. Anyway, let's not get too deep. So he like, "Teach me how to love, music soul child style." Dani like, "I don't know what I want. One minute I want you, one minute I don't. I don't know." She's going back and forth. She's being difficult. Like, I don't think she deserves Preston. I really don't. She don't deserve that man. She wouldn't appreciate him. She wouldn't even know what to do with him. She likes toxicity. So moving on, they said they're gonna, try to work on it or whatever. And he like, "Can we just go inside?" It was looking like it was a little breezy out there in that Atlanta air. So then we see Karen. She calling Pam to see if she locked up. She closed up the shop, turned off all the flat irons, curling irons, and all that. She's talking to Pam like she a small child. And we hear a man in the back. And she's like, "I know you don't got no man in there, having sex on my desk again." And Pam gonna say, "Girl, no, it's too uncomfortable." I hollered, but more importantly, because Pam, like, she was like, "I got this. Like, I did everything. I know what to do." Like, Karen was trying to FaceTime her, but she like, "Girl, no, goodbye." So Pam talking about, "Come on, boo," to the guy. I thought that was her good Judy. I didn't realize that was supposed to be like her man. Like, he wasn't even trying to act like he liked her or any other woman. But whatever. That's neither here nor there. So then we see that Pam forgot to turn the curling iron off. So it's going to be sizzling all night and it might burn the place down. Oh, that's the last thing she need. Now she ain't going to make that appointment and we'll never know who the father is or when she's going to actually have this baby. My kid's going to be in college by the time she has this child. So after that, Aaron comes to the house. He back at Karen's, like, sitting by the phone. Couldn't wait to get back over there. I don't even know if he showered or nothing. So he's stopping Karen from leaving. Like, "No, I'll massage your feet. Whatever. If you still want me to go, I'll go check on it. Like, let's just wait here." So he stopped her, and I know she's going to be furious when she realizes, like, he prevented her from leaving. Like, he just now getting on good terms, and she's probably going to blame him because had you let her go, then this wouldn't happen, etc., blah, blah, blah. But anyway, that's where the episode ends. Next week seems like it's really going to pick up, and we finally get to see Maurice. It's about time. I needed him on my screen. So let me know what y'all thought about this episode. Don't hesitate to share, like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.